This episode of the Party Loaded podcast is proudly sponsored by Audible.com. Check out their awesome catalogue of audiobooks with over 180,000 titles to choose from. And be sure to grab a free audiobook on us and support the show by visiting audibletrial.com/endgame.
Let's party.
Welcome back to Party Loaded. This is Party Loaded episode 28 for Wednesday, the 1st of June. Pinch and a punch for the first of the month, all that good stuff. My name is Luke Ritalik, and we're here back for another episode of video game chat for all ravenous connoisseurs and consumers of everything video gaming. Got a few people here tonight, as usual, to introduce. We have Ollie. How you doing?
Hello, I am a person.
Ollie is a person. Most of the time, we have Imogen.
Hi.
Sorry, I meant Ollie's a person most of the time, not most of the time we have Imogen. We have Imogen pretty much all the time, which is cool. So...
Okay.
Yeah. Just saying. Jam's here too. Hey, Jam.
Fucking wordsmith, this guy.
I'm just going to stay out of this.
He's a word wizard.
We are going to be fantastic tonight, guys.
Oh, it's been a good
pre-show
start.
is anything to go by.
It's been a good start. I think, off air, Ollie's just spent the last sort of 5 minutes or so educating us on some Urban Dictionary gems, so... Yeah, off to a good start.
You're
that's
welcome,
enough of that.
Yep.
No, let's not go into that.
Oh, no. So, how's everyone travelling this week? Everyone's good?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Travelling far.
Excellent.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Speaking of travelling, you've just gotten back from some travels, Jamie. You've just been
Great
spending the last few
distances.
days over the other side of the country, so what's going on?
Yeah, a couple of days in Sydney for work. Whee!
So did you encounter anything interesting there on the other side of the pond? Did you actually get time to do anything gaming
Not
related
really.
at all? No?
No, not at all. But
Is
there
it
was,
the other side of the pond? Isn't that the United Kingdom?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it's anywhere
terrible.
overseas.
Incorrect.
There's
We
no...
don't live that far away from Sydney.
And there is no pond between us.
No.
Is it pivot?
Except it's the opposite of pond.
Other side of the
Face is
island.
a pond.
The other side of the desert.
Yeah.
It was good, but I had no Overwatch, so it was sad.
Yeah, we've had yourself and a couple of other friends away from their computers for whatever reason this week, and the pining has been real.
Yeah.
People missing their...
I can imagine so.
I got back on tonight. I was very happy, but I already felt rusty. Which is stupid.
It does take a while to get back into, I think.
Yeah. But it's good fun. Good fun.
Nice. And speaking of travelling, I think as of today, most of us have sorted our flights for PAX Australia.
I'm literally booking it as we speak.
We
Nice.
have taken up 2 whole rows at this
It
stage.
was row 34, right?
Yeah, there is no more room in row 34.
Not anymore. I did just get the last seat in it.
Nice.
Oh, snaps.
So we might as
Now
well
we're
have
all
just
gonna be
chartered
sitting on
a
that flight
plane for
waiting
ourselves
for
at this
Ollie.
point, hey?
Oh, not quite.
I thought we were going to avoid flying with Ollie. Why did we tell him the right flight?
Oh, man, we're all screwed.
Yeah, Ollie, you're not going to
When
final,
Ollie gets
you're
on
not
the
going to final
plane, let's
destination
all
this shit up
clap.
for us, are you?
We
Yeah,
lied,
it's-
man. We're not on that
we'll
flight at all.
We'll make
hate you
Ollie
guys.
get on last, and we'll round of applause when he gets on. Just everyone stand up and clap.
That would be so confusing.
I will punch every single person that does
We would
that
make the
in the
stewards
face.
nervous.
You would be escorted off the plane, and that's how Ollie doesn't make it to PAX this year.
I'm actually thinking about...
Self-fulfilling.
I'm actually seriously considering running a book on this and just all of the reasons why Ollie could not make it to PAX. Place your
I'll
bets.
take that bet.
I've only
I'll
missed
take
one.
that bet.
But you have something weird go wrong every year.
Yeah.
That's
so,
only twice.
So hang on,
three
we've
times.
had you missing a flight, we've had you losing your bags, and we've had you getting your leave rescheduled so you didn't make it at all. So that's 3
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, that's every
3
year
times.
so far.
Don't remind me.
Every year.
Nice. All right, well, anyway, all sort of fun pack stuff aside, should we kick into some happenings? So what's everyone been playing this week? Got anything interesting on the ball? Should we get the obligatory Overwatch chat out of the way?
I will be playing that game by that name, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So
It's pretty much the only thing I played this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I sort
Apart
of
from our month
universal
one.
in stating that we are all having significant troubles playing anything other than Overwatch right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
the trubs are real trubs.
I've downloaded Warhammer Total War.
Yeah, me too.
Thumbs up. I guess that's something.
I looked at pictures of other games for a really long time last night. And then I played Overwatch.
You did. I remember this.
That's like a teenage boy sort of looking at a Playboy and thinking that it's almost as good as the real thing.
Oh, whoa. Did you just
Is it?
compare
Is it?
that to porn?
What?
No. What?
What?
Don't make my hobby dirty. How dare
I'm
you?
nearly speechless. That doesn't happen very often, but I'm nearly speechless.
But you aren't. So yeah.
Close. Very close.
Anyway,
Oh my God.
That was a sort of casual segue into the fact that Overwatch is a really fucking good game. So I think we're all enjoying it greatly still, which is good. And the rest of the internet
nice
seems to be
save
agreeing
there,
with us
weirdo.
also.
I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, audibly.
Yeah. Look, it's been a good week of gaming in Overwatch in general, because I think we're sort of at the point now where we're discovering some hidden little Easter eggs and bits and pieces that we weren't immediately aware of when we first started playing immediately before and after the launch. So there's been some good little tips and tricks that have been coming out of the woodwork, especially in the last couple of days. So you guys learned any interesting tricks with your characters that were not immediately obvious?
Well, more imaginisms, I guess, is the best way to put it. I'm learning how to use the shield ability on all of my characters a lot more effectively than never. So,
That is a step forward.
it is a step forward. So, yeah, I learned more of that from these guys about Diva and her shield and how it's useful to other people and not just to Diva herself. So that was fun. I'm also enjoying the crap out of playing Winston, which is a character initially in the game I thought I would never play. I really enjoy it. And Symmetra. Go figure. I am kicking ass and taking names with Symmetra in all defense maps at this stage. I'm pretty confident.
You got two plays of the game the other day, didn't you, with her and the
I
Space
really
Man
did.
evening?
Well, yeah, I got a play of a game in public. I felt like a real gamer.
Oh, neat.
You're a freaking
know.
rock star.
We high-fived. Yeah, I know. I was pretty happy about that.
I just played
After
Bastion.
being told by multiple people that I was playing the game wrong. So I was just like, am I?
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Nice. I thought it was really interesting on the topic of Diva's defense matrix in particular that actually can block Hanzo's ultimate with the Spirit Dragons. That was like, what? Wow.
That's amazing.
Very surprised by that. Yeah.
Super handy.
Other amazing news, I've booked my flight.
Yay, good job. I am always constantly amazed at your ability to multitask, Oliver.
Speaking of flying, Ollie, I've seen you, making good use of Lucio's wall running ability.
Oh, I was really annoyed, actually. So to unlock one of his skins, like sprays, sorry, you have to get 4 kills whilst wall running.
Oh, is it
got
4? I thought it was
3.
2. Okay.
No, it's
Oh,
4.
no.
I got 3, and I'm like, motherfucker. It was very annoying.
4 in a single match or within a certain amount of time?
I'm gonna say within a match, because if it's in a... Oh, no, it's without touching the ground. So you have to be on that wall, killing those people.
Okay, so it's
So it's not
similar
like
to how
wall
Pharaoh's
ride
one
kill,
works.
wall ride kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
And-
It's actually really cool that every single character has those, additional challenges, things that you can do.
Chiefs.
Like little mini achievements with each character to unlock additional, what is it? It's always sprays for those things, isn't it? It's not...
Or player tiles sometimes.
player portraits. Yeah,
Play tiles and sprays.
Yeah. And they're not, I mean, a few of them you kind of just get by accident through normal play, but some of them I think you really have to go out of your way to try and achieve. There's some tricky stuff in there. I think the Lucio one's a really good example of something you'd have to pretty much try hard
it's
at.
3 killing blows. I didn't get the killing blow on one of them. That's what it was.
It just contributed.
Yeah, I just contributed.
Yeah.
That's all I seem to do is
It's
contribute.
annoying.
Participation.
I
award.
participated. Yeah, I get the participation medal every match.
So, Jan, what about you in your sort of time away? Have you come back and learnt anything new?
I tried Farah out earlier for a little bit, but wasn't very good and switched back to Soldier. I'm comfortable with Soldier and Diva at the moment, and occasionally Maze, so I got to start branching out more. Practice. Because it'll help me against players too, because I'm still not familiar with all of the abilities each one has, so I don't know what's about to smack me in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does help. When we were playing last night, that was a lot of the chat that was going on. It's like, no, their ult is this and this. And so then you are able to work out best defenses and best ways to counter and that kind of thing. So definitely helps.
Yeah. I'm constantly surprised by how well this game has turned out, given that at its core, it was built from the carcass of a failed MMO project that Blizzard had. The fact that they've actually turned all of that content and that planning and those assets around into something that's been so good is amazing. Like, I'm just, I'm blown away by it. So I just wonder, I mean, it's one of those things I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in Blizzard sort of HQ or in their studio at different times to see exactly what stuff has been left behind, on the cutting room floor from, the original Project Titan that will never see the light of day, that has actually transitioned into Overwatch. It'd be a fascinating tale, and I hope one day we actually get to see a bit more of it, like when it's not so commercially sensitive and people who are on the inside are able to talk about it a little bit more. I think that'd be really cool to sort of read about or hear about. Yeah, super interesting. But I can see this fast becoming the kind of game that I play as much, if not more than Hearthstone, which is a pretty big thing for me to say. So,
wow.
Yeah, the big difference, of course, being that it's not mobile, so I can't play it on public transport and things like that.
So that's going to be your issue.
Yeah, exactly. But if I'm sitting at home, there's an easy choice between the two as to which one I'd rather be playing, and that's Overwatch. It just requires me to actually sit behind a computer. So
I really hope they release some new content in the very near future, because everyone that's played the beta already has basically gone, so we've played all this. It's getting a bit stale now. Because it is the same maps, because I've dumped a decent amount of time into it, and it is the same maps over and over again. So having an extra map or two will make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And, when they actually get around to releasing additional characters too, I think people are going to go absolutely, stir crazy over that. It's going to be nuts. And, Blizzard said that all that's going to be free as well, which is super cool. So
you'd hope so, considering the cost of the actual game.
Yeah. Has anyone sort of taken the step and shilled out for any loot boxes yet?
So tempting, but no.
No?
Tempting, but no. Yeah, not yet.
I have a fear with doing that I think that if you were to pay for loot boxes, even a few of them, and get some stuff that you're after, then the joy of opening them during regular gameplay will be considerably lessened and take away a lot of the shine from that process, which I actually really enjoy. So,
interesting point, Luke. How did that work with Hearthstone?
Well, Hearthstone's totally different in that respect. Yeah. I mean, Hearthstone's got a much larger range of stuff you can earn as well. So, that's pretty different in that respect. And you actually use it for gameplay. I don't know that it is. Yeah.
You're just kidding yourself, mate.
Yeah. So the three of us minus Ollie, because he was way lazy, actually went out to a cool thing, Overwatch related, last week. So should we talk about that?
It was pretty neat. Yeah, we went to a Blizzard inverted commas launch party at Respawn Bar, which is a sort of gaming related bar that opens every Friday in Perth above a actual sports related bar in our sort of main club district. And it was pretty cool. The initial reaction for Jam and I is that we were concerned that we may have been the only females in the room. But then we saw some more.
It was actually pretty good.
We were the fourth. We made a solid 4 females
we were
in
there
the
pretty
bar
early,
at that
though.
stage.
Yeah.
We were there pretty early.
Yeah, that improved.
Yeah, it improved moderately. The best thing about those types of things, and it's the same deal for PAX, at least we don't have to queue up for the toilets and everyone's very polite.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. They're always clean and we don't have to queue up for the toilets. It's all a bonus. But no, it was great. So we got to try Overwatch on the PS4, which was an experience. So we sort of had to learn how to play on a controller and on, the PS4. Had to go some other things and realized that Jamie is a verified god at Rock Band.
It's true.
Just amazing. It's true. Worship me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious. Like
seen...
she's standing up there, casual as fuck, literally like 99%ing things on expert mode.
Just astounding.
It was
Honestly,
very impressive.
so much awe.
Yeah.
Man, if we've been playing Minecraft.
When I went up, so this other girl had been playing and she had it on lefty flip, Ollie. And I walked up and I wasn't familiar with I haven't played much Rock Band. I'm a Guitar Hero girl, and I didn't know the PlayStation guitar controllers. So I'm asking this guy for help on how to switch off lefty flip. And we ran out of time to do it in whatever menu we were in. So then it gets to asking for difficulty. So I went down to expert and hit OK, and he's like, oh no. I'm like, no, that's cool. I just don't know how to change the lefty flip. And yeah, it was so much fun. I didn't know that game was going to be there. I love those games.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was amazing.
So about
Just
halfway through the night, Imogen and I, after having a couple of cracks at the game, were happy to sit down, nurse our drinks, and play some Let's Play, Rock Band, watching Jam do a thing.
Yeah, my ego still hasn't recovered from that score, by the way. I am much better at singing than that.
Oh, yeah, that's because it was like a dingy, crappy
thanks,
noise
Jam.
everywhere.
Jam's got my back. The whole thing, she's like, it's the reverberation. Don't worry about it. Like,
the background noise. Everyone's
it's
yelling
the
about the other
background
games
noise,
going on.
The mic's probably a bit shitty.
Yeah.
Your
Don't
singing
you
was
worry
great.
about it. Like, best friend ever.
I was doing the vocals
Thanks,
on
Jam.
one track, and a dude just literally walks straight up and tries to duet with me, and I'm just like, "Are you
Yeah.
right? Are you okay there, champ?"
Who was into it?
It was the best. I have to say, that was the best thing about it the whole night, is every time we were playing games, just having like other people around. And Luke, you probably didn't get this, but Jamie and I constantly, honestly, so picture the scene. So Jam and I are sitting there playing. I've just been told, like, try this, or, blah, 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 and then got play of the game. Then we played another round. This guy walks up to Jam and he's like, "Oh, you're playing Soldier 76. You got to save those Helix rockets for when people are up close, otherwise it won't be effective." And Jam's like, "Yeah, no, I know how to play. I just haven't played on console before, so I'm just learning."
I literally am just learning the
I'm
controls.
just learning. Like,
and
this is
then
my
you go on to
second.
get a
This is my
29
second game
kill streak.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I
the
got
guy's like,
this.
no, you're doing it wrong. You got to blah, blah, blah. And then just on the screen, it was like, eliminated,
I just bumped the wrong button because I was learning.
It was hilarious. You definitely had
Just
some
the
moments
best.
that evening of, that's cute. Get wrecked, bitches.
Yeah. Get
Dominated.
wrecked.
It was so much fun.
Oh, and when I tried to play and someone came up to me, he's like, "I'm your healer. I'm going to sit next to you." And I'm like, "That's a bad plan. You probably want to heal somebody else," because I do not know what I'm doing on the console.
Heal the bots. Heal the
Heal the
bots.
bots.
No.
It was good though.
fun.
They had 4 screens set up and they alternated teams on them, and then they filled the rest of them with bots. So it was 2v2 with bots. So you still had a full team of 6, but the bots, aren't quite as effective.
Special mention to Luke, who was leading the whole game for the PS, so had to kick off the game and took a moment in somebody else's account to open multiple loot boxes rather than start the game.
He's just sitting there opening them up, and we're like, dude,
my
dude,
God.
dude.
Oh,
My explanation is you play
God.
games to have fun. Opening loot boxes is fun.
Except
for anyone
everybody
else.
was waiting for you to start the game, you idiot. I was like, what are you doing? Start the game.
It was really good fun though. We had such a blast, and they had a little PS2 in the corner with a game called
bless.
Mashed Fully Loaded. And have you ever played Wrecked on any of the consoles, Ollie? It's like a racing game where it's sort of, the screen moves with you, and if you drop off the screen, you're out.
Yes, and you
Yeah.
have various weapons. It's all top down.
Yeah, so it was like an
Yes.
old school
Yes, I
one
have.
of those, and that was quite fun. The 3 of us, we actually had quite a long game before we managed to all get knocked out. It was intense.
Yeah, we were all holding our own pretty well.
Yeah, it was good fun.
You
Luke
two seem to
managed
be
to pull that
focusing
one
on
off.
getting power-ups and killing each other, and I was just like, no, I'm actually going to try and win a
Dodge that
race.
shit.
That was good.
so
It did
much
make me
fun.
sort of look at the PS2 sort of graphics and gameplay though, and go, oh my god, I can't believe things used to be as primitive as this.
Yeah, you're like, man, this used to be good.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
happened?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It almost makes me want to go back for science reasons and actually see what some of the other games were like at that time, compared to what our perceptions are now. But then I remember that would actually be a terrible idea, and that we should never do that. So, yeah, look, oh man, the console difference with Overwatch was a bit of an eye opener though. Like, I really think that some of the characters are pretty massively impacted by that change. Like, particularly any character that needs to be able to, move, point of view quickly to take a shot, like some of the sniper characters and some of the faster moving and reacting characters. Like I think Tracer would be a really good example of one that would suffer greatly for the transition to console, because there's sometimes where you want to just run ahead and use your blink or flash or whatever it's called just to sort of turn around quickly, and that speed and range of movement you just don't have on the thumbsticks. So Farah I was having a lot of trouble with when I was up in the air, sort of being able to turn and face what you needed to face while remaining in the air, which is easy peasy when you're on a keyboard and mouse, but on console really tricky. So
I think it would just take some experience to build up some muscle memory and like playing with the sensitivity until you got it, because it took me a few minutes to pick up the button placements. But once I did, I mean, you saw me. Although I had Soldier 76 though, he was pretty generic shootery type, but it was really comfortable. I was actually really comfortable using the controller scheme rather than the keyboard scheme.
Yeah, with Symmetra, because she's not an aim-based character, I actually found the controller a lot easier than on the computer. But with aim-based characters like Diva, it was a nightmare. So
then I was the one flipping the inversion every game.
And then you gave me your controller. I was like, how do I fix it? It's broken.
Yeah,
Everything's
she did that to
upside
me.
down.
I hated her for that.
Oh, so annoying. You handed off that controller to other people as well, and they thought the game was just broken.
They couldn't find the menu. I did.
Oh, far out.
Yeah.
Uber gamer.
It's good fun. And my highlight for the night, I was playing Rock Band, and a guy comes up and he's like, "Are you pro?" I just got the biggest, stupidest smile on my face. I was like, "Yep, I'm done here."
My work here is done.
Drops mic, walks out of bar.
It's a good night. We need to go back.
Yeah, that was super cool. So
they have, for those of you who are in Perth, and there is many of you who listen, every Friday night Respawn Bar is above Games Sports Bar, which is the old Dean on Aberdeen Street in Northbridge. It's definitely worth the support. And the thing with these types of bars is that they pop up in Perth and then they're great, but if they don't get your support, they just do end up disappearing, because it's people going in and out the door. That means that places like Game Sports Bar will continue to support Respawn being there. So if you haven't had a chance to go, just pop down for a couple of beers or whatever on a Friday night. There's always something going on. Please support it, because we would love to see it turn into another Mark II beta bar like in Melbourne, or I can't remember the name of the one in Sydney, but let's do it. Let's make it a more permanent feature, because it is a place where people can go and can do these types of things. And there was like Cards Against Humanity going on, and then I saw
Blizzard
Munchkin
cosplay.
there. There was
Munchkin,
Blizzard cosplay. There was gaming-themed cocktails, which was great. They were playing like, if you're the sort of person who wants to go down and like dance with your crew as well, then you can play a couple of games, have a couple of drinks, and then there was a dance floor as well, and the music was pretty sweet. So go down, support it. I cannot stress enough that these places survive on foot traffic. So even if you just go for a couple of hours after work, please check it out.
I think on Twitter they were at Respawn Perth by memory. So
yep, correct.
Cool,
give them a follow, chase them up on Twitter, tell them that you enjoyed the night, those types of things. We'd love to see them survive and do some more cool stuff with them. That'd be cool.
Yep. Cool. Right, should we kick into some news? We've got some happenings this week. So, I mean, video gaming news, I get the impression in general over the last few weeks has been a little on the down low compared to the norm. And we do have E3 2016 right around the corner. So I think a lot of the major publishers and developers are sort of holding back a little bit of their content and their reveals for, the various press conferences that are going to be held around that time. But we've got a bit of stuff coming up. So, I mean, E3 is sort of kicking off we've got EA and Bethesda kicking off the show with their press conferences on Sunday, June 12th. And, the 13th is going to be a pretty massive day with Microsoft and Sony, Ubisoft. They are doing various showcases on that day, and there's a PC gaming show that'll be happening on that day as well. So a fair bit of stuff. So have you guys actually seen some of the games that have been already revealed as being at E3 or have been revealed as part of the E3 discussions?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited for Dishonored 2 because I love the shit out of that game.
Well, I would have said that the other one that probably would be on your radar, Ollie, would be the Deus Ex sequel.
Yep, that as well.
So Deus Ex Mankind Divided, looking pretty cool.
I'm actually quite surprised they're making a Titanfall 2.
Well, look,
Like,
I'm
that
not.
sounds really harsh, but
Yeah, I am too, because they did not support number one for very long.
It was massive at the time, though. I mean, don't sort of...
Very briefly, though.
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
It had
hello, we're here, and now we're gone.
no lifespan. Well, a tiny one.
Well, I think a lot of the buzz around that game when it first launched, a lot of it was aligned with the new console generation being part of the push then as
True.
well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like how Watch Dogs was a massive thing until it wasn't. So,
Like, look at this amazing... No, we're done here.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but Watch Dogs had a single player that you could spend some time in. That was all right.
Yeah,
Titanfall was all online, wasn't it?
it was. And I mean, that was probably a big part of the reason why the experiment was a bit controversial and maybe didn't sort of go as well as it should have. But like, as far as the game goes, it had some pretty innovative, interesting new things. Like a lot of the
A lot of
movement.
potential.
Yeah, the jumping out of your mech and sort of having the on the ground combat. You know, that was really interesting. There's a lot of different stuff in there for a shooter. So
It's what I hope Overwatch doesn't become, in that it will just get stale really quickly. And I hope
Like-
Overwatch doesn't become that.
Just a game of 12 divas.
yeah.
Yeah, basically.
No, I doubt that will happen. I think, you know, a big part of the issue with Titanfall was, you know, they kind of had to rush it out for the launch of the new generation, and, you know, expectations, you know, shifted quite rapidly after that as some really good games started hitting. So I don't know. We'll see what they're going to do with the second one. They seem pretty invested in making it a long-running franchise. So I think they'll, you know, it's been a bit of a gap since the last one too. I mean, what is it going to be, like 2-3 years? We're that far in?
Yeah,
so, that's all right.
3. I think we're hitting 3 soon.
Yeah. So, but other confirmed games sort of via E3 this year, we've got, of course, Battlefield 1 is going to have some stuff on display there, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which we've spoken about recently. Final Fantasy 15 is one of the ones I'm really excited about, so there's a lot of stuff, you know, going to be on display there. We've
That
got...
looks pretty.
Yeah. The new Legend of Zelda. So Nintendo are pretty much going to be rocking up with one game and one game only, and it's going to be Zelda. And apparently the demos for that are going to be about 90 minutes long, which is intriguing.
Wow.
So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, like I actually, I was kind of thinking that might be a bad play by Nintendo initially, but what I've come to realize is that their unique way of doing a lot of their reveals via their Nintendo Directs, I think, is actually probably a much better model for the way that company does things. They, you know, have a much better way of kind of, you know, addressing their releases and game titles, and, you know, giving a bit more information behind the development and sort of, you know, in that Nintendo-esque way that they do things. So, you know, rather than trying to fit in with all of the static that happens at big conventions like this. So, I don't know. What else we got? We got Persona 5, for anyone who's into that sort of thing. Mafia 3 looks intriguing.
Ooh,
Yeah, some good stuff there. And probably a lot of unknowns as well. But, I mean, all of the E3 stuff aside, there's been quite a bit of Microsoft talk in the last week or two as well. And some of this may be foreshadowing some of the big announcements they'll make at their press conference there. Not the least of which being that apparently we've got 2 new Xbox One consoles on the way. So you guys seen the updates around that?
Yeah.
2 is an interesting choice.
Well, one of them I don't think comes as a great surprise at all. It looks like one of them is going to be set to be revealed this year, and it is a new slimline Xbox One. You know, reducing the physical size of the box, and you know, some minor improvements in terms of, you know, the hardware.
Apparently streaming only, essentially, and some of the smaller games.
Yeah. Aesthetically, I think it's a pretty good move, because the Xbox One, as it stands currently, is a beast of a console in terms of the size. That thing's massive. It's a freaking brick. I mean, not that the PS4 is much better, because that thing's quite large too, but the Xbox is considerable. So, but the slimline version, I'm wondering what they're going to drop in terms of componentry. I'm guessing maybe they'll drop one of the HDMI ports, maybe. I don't know, it brings up an interesting thing too. Like, at what point in the future do you think we're actually going to start seeing consoles without optical drives, now that so much stuff is going digital?
I'm still surprised we have.
Yeah.
But that's just because of the old business model for DVDs and CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'll remain for a little while yet, for another generation at least. I think it would be tough for them to ever get rid of it. A lot of discs these days, I mean, you just sort of install part of it and then the rest of it downloads anyway. But people are still buying games. Physical game shops still exist. People are still buying physical copies via the internet rather than the digital copies. So until that sort of gets a little bit waned out, then I think they'll still have optical drives for a couple of generations. Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 20 years you won't have any disc media.
Yeah, it'll be a while yet.
That
but
seems
yeah,
like a safe
eventually.
It can't
bet of
be.
years.
It can't be too quick because less than 3 years ago there was that massive outcry at their plans for their supporting, the digital purchases by requiring the connections, but allowing people to share their digital library and that sort of thing, and the complaints from everyone flooding in who wanted to buy hard copies and play offline. So
Yeah, but
that's
being able to play
still
offline
relatively
with
recent.
digital content is completely reasonable. Like, that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah, but people, the outcry was from a lot of people who don't have an internet connection that allows them to cheaply
But
receive
given enough
digital
time,
content.
that will change.
Yeah, but I think it's still early.
Oh,
Early
yeah, that's
days.
why I'm saying 20 years. 20 years is
Yeah.
a very long time when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
That is a massively long time. I mean, 20 years ago, we're starting to get towards that time where there was no internet that we were able to access.
Exactly.
So
So VHS and crap.
it's a crazy
I
long time.
remember those days.
Yep.
They're weird. That's
But,
so weird.
it is a reasonable thing to kind of look forward to, because the situation at the moment in brick and mortar game stores is that a lot of the games that you'll purchase, actually contain codes for you to download the content anyway. Like, not every game box actually comes with physical discs anymore. Sometimes it is just literally you are buying, a license to that copy of the game. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of games actually require an internet connection to play. Some of them, probably shouldn't, and that's, created a little bit of
That's
controversy.
a bit of a dick move.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a weird one. I suspect though that it's actually probably not in a lot of big content publishers' best interests to undermine the retail market to the extent that game stores would start closing down wholesale, because there'd be no reason for people to visit them anymore. Because if we start seeing big companies like GameStop and your EB Games and that sort of thing, closing up shop because there's just no reason for people to actually go in anymore when they can just get everything digitally, then that is going to have a pretty negative knock-on effect to the industry as a whole. So there's probably a lot of commercial
No
deals.
more than video
Books.
shops closing down.
Bookstores that didn't adapt their model for the increase in the use of e-readers. I mean, there were many that closed down, but now some more are starting to open back up again in certain areas because the need's still there. They just persisted in their old models, which weren't prepared. You've got to diversify maybe your stock a little bit. I don't know. I'm no expert, but it's possible to do, and a lot of book retailers managed to. So I think games retailers will be able to too. I mean, especially considering the merchandising that they're now selling alongside the video games.
Yeah.
Which, you can get on the internet, but there's some good old impulsive buys when you walk through the shopping centre. So I think it's doable.
It's true. I mean, we do have the impulse, availability online too. Like, especially when we're browsing the Steam store and places like that. If there's a good
Fucking
enough
Steam
diverse
sales, man.
marketplace, yeah. It's not hard to get yourself talked into buying something you wouldn't otherwise look at. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I think the fact that it is slowly progressing is always going to be a thing for a while yet. I think 20 years old is probably overshooting the length of time it's going to take a little bit, but we'll see. The other big Xbox reveal is that apparently Microsoft has a new upgraded version of the Xbox One in the works at the moment under the codename Scorpio. So kind of very similar to what is going on over at Sony with the PlayStation Project Neo that they haven't actually officially announced yet. So, but there were some interesting specs that have been, revealed or leaked or talked about. And, Ollie, you were sort of looking at the comparisons to the existing Xbox One in terms of Scorpio apparently looking at coming in at 6 teraflops. So what does that actually mean for the layman?
It's, in the layman's terms, it essentially means it's going to run better.
Mm-hmm.
It will be able to do a lot more stuff. So it's essentially 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One is the easiest way to explain that.
Yay, HoloLens.
Yeah.
So it'll be able to support all those high-end 3D, 4K games easily.
So, anyone who's just picked up an Xbox One's probably not going to be real happy about this.
Yeah, but it's always a risk when you hear the next generation's coming, actually picking up the current generation. You're like,
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. It's not a next generation. It's a mid-generation console upgrade.
It is a next generation.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is in orbit name, effectively, I guess, but it's not in terms of the compatibility with games and stuff. I mean, they're not sort of talking about having a new range of games which is only going to be played on the new Xbox 1.2 or Xbox Scorpio, if we're going to call it that. It's not like when we have a console divide between, say, 360 and Xbox One, where, you know, literally you have Xbox 360 games and you have Xbox One games, and you, to a certain extent, hit the reset button on that library when you move to the new generation. Although that being said, I have been really impressed with Microsoft's work on the backwards compatibility lately. It looks like, I think at last count, about 20% of the 360 library is playable on Xbox One now, which is pretty impressive, actually.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Well, and the PS, the 4.5, they've said that it will be better at running VR, but you can still run VR games on the normal PlayStation. So there's a distinct difference between the two releases.
Yeah, a lot of it will come down to the rules that Microsoft will set with the developers they work with, I think, because it would be quite a tricky situation if a developer turned around and said, look, we only want to develop a game for this version of the Xbox. Because then you're going to have this massive mess similar to what's happened with the latest Nintendo DS, where you've got the new DS, which can, and there's a few games that can only play on the new DS. And a lot of the virtual console library that you can download only plays on the new DS, and people who have got the previous one, which is virtually indistinguishable apart from one little control, sort of left out in the cold and can't get all of that stuff. So it's it's kind of confusing. It's almost as confusing as how sort of Apple makes their latest generation of, say, the iPad and just calls it the Apple iPad, and they don't really, strictly speaking, have the version numbers clear to consumers. I mean, they kind of unofficially have those numbers, but it's almost like this is the iPad 2016 as opposed to version X number. So, I mean, everyone kind of cottons onto it, but I don't think it's particularly consumer friendly in the way that they name them like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, people will figure it out. If not, then wow, that's just impressive that you didn't.
Fair enough. Well, on the topic of VR as well, there's been some reports that Microsoft might actually be working on the first VR title for Xbox One, and apparently it's a game that's going to be shown at E3. So now that, of course, is weird because Xbox One hasn't strictly been spoken of as having VR compatibility, but we do know that Microsoft has been doing some deals with Oculus in the background, along the lines of the Oculus Rift shipping with the Xbox One controllers. So are we going to see a version of the Xbox that is compatible with the Oculus Rift, or maybe even a next iteration of the Rift which is built for Xbox and PC? What do you think?
I'm curious, and I'll believe it when I see it.
The name of the game and the developer that's going to be revealed as being sort of kept hush-hush, but it has been said that it is from a well-known European studio, and that apparently the game is set in the universe of an established long-running franchise. So
that really narrows it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know it's not going to be Half-Life 3.
Trials Fusion, everybody. Trials Fusion.
That'd be the best.
Yeah. What about a Halo VR? Would that be a possibility? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be hectic.
I'm just going to wait and see.
Yeah, it's so many, could be so many things. So yeah, we'll see.
Just Dance.
Guitar Hero.
Rock Band VR.
Yeah, there you go. Rock Band VR.
I mean, because they've already talked about the the Rock Band VR. I think Just Dance would not be outside of the realms of possibility. I don't know if it's something that would appeal to me, but
yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a VR kind of game, though.
Yeah. No, I agree. Probably not.
It'd be funny.
Yep. And we did get some slightly sad news during the week, which I know Imogen was not real happy to see. So
we did.
What's going on with No Man's Sky,
it's not been
Imogen?
a great week. No Man's Sky has been officially delayed. So it was supposed to be coming out the end of June. And it was sort of rumoured that it maybe wasn't going to come out and it probably was going to be delayed, and they've confirmed as much and said that it will come out in August. They have been people are very upset about this because it's one of those games that has taken a while to develop, and like I said in the last time we sort of talked about it, is that it comes out when it comes out. I'd rather that it worked. It is very disappointing, but it means that it shifts it out of a couple of other sort of bigger releases. I realized today that Lego Star Wars was coming out at the same time, so maybe it's a good thing for a game like No Man's Sky to miss out on some of the bigger titles dropping at the same time, and they just need more time to sort of get it right. So I would rather they get it right, but I'd rather get it right and stick to deadlines. But that's not going to happen, so that's fine. I will wait. Again.
I just wish people weren't such self-entitled little bitches when it comes to buying products.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously, it was going to be now. Get over it. At least he's going to have something that works.
Exactly.
I just thought it was ridiculous that Sean Murray, who's the senior designer on the project, has been getting death threats on it. I'm just like, come on.
Guys, really very mature.
Chill out, guys. Like, you don't. Well, he's kind of in this catch-22. He could release it at, let's say, end of June, and something's not right with it, and he gets death threats because he's released a game that we've waited for a long time and it's not right. Or he could release it in August, be happy with it. I just hope it doesn't turn into a Fez-esque situation where it's August and then it's October and then it's December and then it's again and again and again.
Look, I hope it does, because then it's fucking hilarious for everyone that's complaining about it. Like,
that's also true.
And I'm like, suck it up.
It can't
I'm sad
possibly
that it's
be
not
that
going to be released
bad.
soon, but I want the game to work. The concept behind it is brilliant, and as long as it works and they're happy that the game fits the
I'm amazed they
concept
can
that they
even
want
get it working.
Exactly. So everyone chill.
Yeah.
It's not great news, but we'll get through it together.
I mean, it was originally scheduled for the 21st of June, so, they're at the point now where they must be starting to, do their production runs and burn discs and all that sort of stuff. The game must be pretty close to complete at this point. And they've only pushed it back to, like the second week of August. They've said it was August 9th for America, and then you've got Europe on the 10th and the UK on the 12th, so it's not a massive delay. I think it's very similar to the situation that happened with Uncharted 4, and, God knows that game was probably better for the push in the end.
Yeah,
exactly. And you're never going to know why they delayed it. They're not going to tell you why they're delaying it. It's just going to be a better polished game when it is released. So,
and that's not a bad thing.
Let's be a good community and just chill out and wait for this entirely mind-blowing game to be released properly.
Yep. Sounds good. So, on the topic of death threats, how do you guys feel about becoming bigger criminals than ever before in GTA? You keen on doing that?
Not for you.
Will dominate.
Did you say world dominate?
I will dominate.
Okay.
World domination,
Same
I'd
thing,
work
really.
For Jam.
Tomato.
I'd work for Jam.
Yeah, my criminal empire.
It begins.
I'm the worst criminal. I'm like one of the Three Stooges.
You're
Where
the
do you want the
decoy.
car, boss? Parks in
Okay.
tree.
I can work with this.
It's a bike instead. Steal me. It's a pink bike. Damn it. You said no bikes.
I forgot about that.
Well, in case anyone missed it,
funny.
Rockstar have basically provided some massive details on the next major update for Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. And it is going to be building on the previous Executives and Other Criminals update, which came out earlier last year. But this one is called Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. Love the name. So
Very creative.
yeah, it's cool. So the whole point is to continue a player's mission to become the ultimate criminal kingpin of Los Santos and Blaine County in one of the biggest and deepest updates yet. So you're going to be able to become the CEO of what's called a criminal enterprise. So you'll be able to purchase a high-rise office, warehouses. You can use them to sell and store a range of contraband. So there could be some interesting stuff you can get hold of. As per what you expect from GTA, it's adding a whole bunch of new vehicles. One of them, which is basically showing up in a lot of the marketing material, is a new sports car called the Pegasi Reaper. And there's going to be a bunch of other new features which they haven't sort of put in detail yet either. But again, GTA just keeps on going from strength to strength. The amount of extra stuff that has come out for this game since it launched is just ridiculous.
For the
They're
purchase
making
price
money.
of this game, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they're making money hand over fist from the microtransactions.
Exactly. And
brilliant.
now they've released more stuff that people can use real life money to buy, and people are going to want it so bad. And they've timed it so well that everyone's just spent their money on expensive yachts and everything else and like worked their
true.
butts off
It's
to gain
like they
$10
plan it or
million.
something.
Yeah. And now everyone's sort of going to be diving back in and needing to purchase high-rise buildings, which I can imagine will be quite expensive.
Yeah, we need to start heisting. Can we start heisting? I need the money.
Yeah.
Give me the cash.
I'm actually surprised they haven't added more heists to the game, actually, because that was one of the most popular ads, sort of back when that huge update came out.
So
Yeah, but it
difficult
took
to add
2
into the
years
game.
to
So
sort out.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean,
that was another
yeah.
delay.
There are some buildings in the game that look like they were made for heists, like the casino that's just sitting out to the side, calmly
mind
being
me.
ignored.
Oh, man, casino
there's-
heist. That'd be so good. You can
Yeah.
Ocean's 11 that shit.
Ocean's
There is
11-esque.
just
I'm
so
down.
much potential.
I'm down. Can I be the old guy who plays at the table?
Yes.
I could nail that. I'm down.
Yep.
Nothing to see here. I'm just a casual gambler. Yes, money is my life.
But, I mean,
Don't worry
Jan, you're
about
right.
me
The
tipping my
amount
hat.
of money that they're continuing to make off this game, the online mode, it makes sense why they haven't released single-player content for the game yet.
Oh,
it's
completely.
It's not necessary.
Well, single player's not making them money.
Yeah.
That, basically.
And they can keep supporting this world like this until they release GTA 6 with a brand new map. And then they can just start it all over again. And it'll be, tweaked a little different, but it'll be the same sort of build-up. It's just... I love that game.
Do you know,
We gotta
what
play.
my new theory and my new hope is that when we actually eventually see, and we know it's coming at some point in the future, we just don't know when we eventually see Red Dead Redemption 2, that they're going to do this kind of thing for that, like have a Red Dead Online. How
but
good
it
would
won't
that
be
be?
Red Dead... There was Red Dead
Online
Revolver.
would be ridiculous.
Red Dead Revolver and then Red Dead Redemption, so it's going to be Red Dead something else.
Red Dead Revenge?
Deadera.
Resurrection.
Resurrection,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
you're
heard it here,
welcome.
folks.
And you know what? Given some of the way that the single-player story plays out in the last game, that might not be too far off the mark.
Fucking
No,
spoilerific.
that's fine. That's
Okay.
acceptable.
All right. Thanks, Ollie. Moderator Ollie.
Yes,
Jesus
that would
Christ.
be epic. I loved that game. Just especially
I think-
multiplayer free roaming throughout the countryside. Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah,
if I
I
could be
think
a
online
cowboy
generally-
online with lots of other people and do cattle
Yeah.
rustling and you know
Yeah.
shootouts and all that sort of stuff, man, that would be so good.
That would be your childhood dream.
Yep.
You're
Cowboys
all
and
ready to
Indians,
be a
but
cowboy.
online multiplayer.
Digital
And less
cowboys and
racist.
Indians.
With without the death and decimation of an entire race.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to make a lighthearted topic not.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's important. It's important to commemorate. No, I think online generally, and maybe it's a topic we need to discuss it more at length, but it used to be that thing like, oh, it's so nerdy to play online. But now it's kind of an essential part of most of the AAAs is that online component. People are more comfortable with getting online. People's access to internet is increasing. So I think we're going to see more games focus like GTA is on there, sort of continuing to build their communities. I think it's great.
It definitely speaks to the longevity of certain titles. And I mean, looking at a couple of the recent ones, Doom and Overwatch. I mean, Doom single player, fantastic game. Like Ollie and I are loving the shit out of it. It's really, really good. It's really polished. It's much better than we expected it was going to be. But the amount of hours we're going to play in Doom versus the amount of hours we're going to play in a game like Overwatch, just purely because of that online factor, I think,
Is
the
much
difference
better.
is
Correct.
significant. Yeah.
And because of that reason, the secondary methods through which they are promoting their game, but not even actively, like streaming and let's play videos, are that much greater. So just that's where the demand is. So that's what they're going to sell to.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of extra GTA maps that I think we should give a shot. I've been watching some Let's Plays and making some
Excellent.
notes.
We tear ourselves away from Overwatch to give them a crack.
Yeah, we'll have to pencil that in.
But so yeah, have a schedule now.
Yeah.
We'll have Total War and everything else.
Book
Then
me
we'll go
in for
back to
August,
GTA and
Imogen.
everyone will be like, what the crap? Everyone's playing anything other than Overwatch. Everyone get online.
Yeah.
Suddenly we've got way too many people to play GTA.
It's like when we
no
all
such thing.
suddenly mass pack to
that-
Minecraft.
we've decided that in GTA it's any more than 6 in our group, and then it starts getting hectic. Then it's Ollie killing Andy, and everyone's killing this person, and everyone's
yelling
blowing
at
up
Luke.
everyone else, and everyone's yelling and talking at once. It's too much. I can't do it.
I love that. It's the best.
So unlike the other two of you, I'm going to take Jam's casual segue and let's talk about Minecraft.
Casual segue. You know, that wasn't even deliberate.
Oh, nicely planned.
job.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
It's like you're pro.
They
So,
grow up so fast.
you guys heard about Minecraft adding a new PvP multiplayer mode to the game?
I
I'm
did
surprised
not.
it took that long.
Yes, but yeah, I am surprised.
There's going to be a free update sometime in June, and these basically are going to be console updates. So to match some stuff that's available on PC, there's a multiplayer mode that's called Battle, where up to 8 players can use resources to fight each other that are randomly generated in a variety of maps that are pre-made. So basically, players start out for a limited time invulnerable, and then they have to basically run around the map, gather as much stuff as they possibly can. When the timer counts down, then they basically just go for it, and it's a free-for-all, and last man standing basically wins. So it's going to be up to 8 players online, but apparently you'll also be able to do local co-op split screen with up to 4 players. So
That's cool.
Fantastic.
That's a good feature.
yeah. But
And so this is
That left
available
click?
through Realms?
well, given that it's going to be console, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I think...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. The just on the side, I actually saw a really interesting stat that was tweeted out from, it was either Mojang directly or it might have been Jens Bergensten during the week, one of the senior, I think he's the lead dev on Minecraft actually. Apparently, the Pocket Edition of Minecraft, sort of on iPads and tablet devices, is actually more played universally than all of the other versions combined. Did you guys know that?
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
I didn't,
Yeah.
but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think it's
Surprises
amazing.
me. I don't know why.
Yeah. So
It's so accessible, and then it goes off downloads, and so I'm not surprised at all. It sits on most people's iPads.
Oh, maybe
For
I need to get it for my
emergency situations.
iPad. For
Emergency
the train.
Emergency iPad.
yeah, just
Yeah.
bust it out in case of emergency break glass. Oh crap, that was my screen.
Creeper sneaks up to
Yeah.
me, and I throw my iPad across the train. Oh, crap.
You just yell, "Oh, creeper!" Yeah.
Yep.
Shockingly, most people on the train would probably just nod and be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Minecraft, eh?
Yep.
Hectic game.
So Minecraft Battle Mode launches for free in June. It's going to give you 3 maps, and additional map packs are going to be expected to release later down the road for a very small cost each. So just a few bucks, essentially. So, yeah. The other interesting bit of Minecraft news during the week was Mojang have just announced that they're implementing new measures to stop people and organizations for actually using the game as a means to advertise their own products through sponsored mods and maps. So, interesting one. So there's a new section on their commercial usage guidelines that basically says what people can and can't do. And
Stop that.
The gist of it is that you can't build a Minecraft mod or server that promotes unrelated products in playable form. So if you're like a restaurant chain owner, you can't market your restaurant by having a mod that basically has your restaurant built into the game. And you can't build a map or a mod that markets a movie or a TV show. So if you're a movie studio, you can't, make a map that uses blocks to build that fictional world out of your movie or characters or anything like that. Or you can't do a movie trailer out of footage from the game. So
Just to throw it out there, I'm going to have to start a segment which is like Imogen's marketing conspiracy theories. This is to do, I believe, with their in association with Nintendo. If there's one company who protects its IP like nobody's business, it's Nintendo. And 2 weeks after they're releasing a Nintendo themed skin and pack and everything else, they suddenly change their terms of use to say that it can't be made to look like anything in particular other than those that they have agreed to.
Yeah.
Seems so they don't want
100%.
they don't want anyone building like GTA in Minecraft or Game of Thrones in Minecraft,
Because then they can't
those
approach
types of
them
which is funny
Correct.
because
to work out a deal.
correct.
release
recently someone
themselves.
actually did build Los Santos in Minecraft. from GTA.
Yeah, Game of Thrones has been built.
Yes.
All of the different towns have been built, which looks
extraordinary.
spectacular. But it's just one of those things. I feel like that has a lot to do with their ability to purchase and sell skins and things like that.
Get the
Skin
IPs
packs that are
going.
coming out. Yeah.
The good thing is there's hopefully going to be a distinction between a fan-made passion project and
Hopefully, yeah, because the
something
passion
that's
projects
actually
are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
actively marketed by a company and organized by a company, because you don't want people to stop building, pretty things that they love.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fine line to tread, but it's one of those things, I guess. All right, well, should we move on to our main topic of the week? So, party game review of the month.
Insert sound effect.
It's time. Yeah, that's right.
Wop, wop.
Have some streamers going off, some fireworks. All right, so Jam, do you want to tell us what we're reviewing this month? What's on the schedule?
We are reviewing the roguelike game ADOM, Ancient Domains of Mystery. And I'm really enjoying it. Holy crap, was the learning curve steep.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how much you guys have played, but I was trying to learn all of the key bindings at first, and there are
So
an
many.
extraordinary
A keyboard's
amount.
worth.
So many.
Like you have to use the shift key so that each button can have a different binding, like 2 different bindings. Math. And then I realized that I could access, a significant portion of them by right-clicking. That made it much easier. But even so, learning all of the different bits and pieces of the game and how to survive was tricky.
Yeah.
So, you start off. I started in the tutorial, and it threw me in just with a default character. And that was it a male human fighter?
Yeah, well, generally you can choose between male or female.
See.
Yep.
See.
I didn't get to choose.
I don't think I did, because I'm pretty sure I was male. But it pops you up on this zoomed out 2D map, and you start walking along the road, and the map uncovers as you move along, and then you encounter a cave, and it's there on the map, and I walk over to it, but holy crap if it didn't take me nearly 10 minutes to figure out how to get into it the first time, because there were reams and reams of instructions popping up on my screen telling me how not to starve to death and how to equip this and that, and I was going,
What was the first thing that you did, Jam? What was the first thing you did?
I died.
You starved to death.
I
So
starved
you didn't
to death.
really read the part about not starving to
No,
death very well.
because I was overwhelmed. I couldn't figure out how to get into the cave. I got to the town. Same problem. Couldn't figure out how to get into the town. And eventually when I did, I was standing next to a villager just trying to find an innkeep so that I could buy some food. And I died. I starved to death because I couldn't figure out
Just
what my
in the
interaction...
street.
Yeah.
Like a
Crawling
peasant.
your way to the store.
Some
And everyone's like, hello.
It's a lovely day outside.
Welcome to our town.
So
We're
then...
having these problems with the goblin.
Help me.
Then I switched it off and decided I was too tired. And then I needed to jump back on with one of you guys playing it for the first time too, so that we could kind of, learn off each other.
Yeah, Jam and I sort of jumped on together and were, bouncing off each other with some of the getting our heads around the controls and actually what the heck we were doing. Like it's weird because when I first looked at the game on the Steam page, it was listed as having released only a few months ago. Like it was a pretty recent release. It was either end of 2015 or the beginning of 2016. I think it might have been November actually. But having done a bit of research, I realised that is actually not the case because apparently it was actually first released in 1994. So
God.
this
I
game
think
is
crowdfunding brought it back.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, basically, the guy who designed the game, a guy by the name of Thomas Biskup, he was basically working on it during his studies as a passion project, and it was sort of iterated on, quite a bit over a number of years, and then it had like a 9-year hiatus, and in 2012 he basically resumed development on it by means of that crowdfunding campaign. So. He wanted to sort of get some money behind it to actually, make enough changes to bring it up to where he envisioned the project going in the first place. So it was made available at that point, and he's got some later versions which were only available to people who participated in the crowdfunding, but the major sort of Steam launch was a bit of a milestone, when it happened recently, and and then we've got the game that we've got today, which is why some of the stuff looks a bit dated. So, it uses ASCII graphics to represent the game world, and, looks quite dated despite the fact that it was only released recently. So
I believe the word you're looking for is retro.
Yeah. But not just the look, the controls are very old school as well.
Yeah, but it's fun because it's very sincerely RPG-ish in the character leveling and building. There are so many different characteristics and attributes for your character that affect how they play. I don't know how many attempts and deaths you guys got through, because death is final in the game. Your character stops, it's dead, you have to restart, generate a new character. You can't even give them the same name, I found out. So I went through randomizing. I played through 4 different characters, some longer than others. And it's really interesting how each time when you've got a different class, how your playing style changes. It's good fun. So what did you guys play?
I actually can't remember what I picked because I played like a week or two ago. I think I might have chosen a human warrior of some sort. There's like 12 races and 22 different character classes that you can pick from, so there's quite a bit.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It makes it interesting because the different characters I played with, when their races changed, one of the cool things is when you kill monsters, sometimes they'll drop bodies, and hunger is a big part of the game, as I learned after dying in the tutorial from hunger. You can eat the corpses and raw meat that drop from the bodies, but your character will react differently to certain ones, so you can get sick from some but not others. And I think at one point I played a lizard person thing, Drakeling, I think it was called. And they seem to be better at consuming the raw meat and corpses, but got hungrier much, much quicker. So it was a constant battle for food with that character. It really changed my playing style. And then class differences. I had my Drakeling was a beast fighter, and I couldn't figure out what that meant for a while until I realised when I right-clicked on them that there was an instruction for the key binding M, and when I pressed it, they could just launch this little blip of energy or something out of their hand, and it was really effective at killing things, more so than the weapon. It was good fun, and my enchantress was fun too. She had a bunch of spells. That was my most successful character, I think.
So what did you guys play as? What did you take, Ollie?
I played a human paladin.
Okay.
Ooh.
He worked really well. He had a really good mix of stuff. I was like, this was a good choice.
Were there consequences for doing non-lawful things? Because that seemed to be something like your...
I don't know, because I haven't done anything unlawful yet.
Ah, good move.
I basically role-played the character and went, I will follow all these rules, because I don't want to lose alignment. Because, you can actually lose alignment in this game.
Yeah.
So that was like me going, I'm going to get really punished if I do this. Let's not do this.
Yeah. It sort of comes down to how you solve different quests and things too, because there's often a few different ways to do it. Yeah.
So I've yet to die, so he's been my only character. And I played an hour and a half. That's all right.
That's pretty good. Do you know what level he is?
I actually couldn't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to go find out. Hold on.
That's one of the good things. When you die, you get a page up listing your statistics and some of your achievements. And they translate to a Hall of Fame if it's in the main game. So I've got 3 now listed up on my Hall of Fame, and my enchantress is like leaps and bounds ahead of the others.
Yeah. So, Imogen, what did you play as?
I played the tutorial, and I did not enjoy the game.
Fair enough. So, tell us about what you found tricky and what sort of didn't speak to you.
The thing for this, just apart from everything else, is that I didn't find it tricky. So the tutorial I found very clicky, and I sort of got the hang of the key bindings, and then just sort of was like clicking and trying to find a dog in a dungeon and going through and doing all the stuff, and it didn't grab me. I wasn't interested. I found it a little bit convoluted, I guess is the best way to put it. So I really and I only really had a couple of hours to sort of commit to it. So I sort of committed to playing through the tutorial and did that, and wasn't really driven to choose different characters. I didn't feel like playing like a spellcaster or whatever was going to change my experience of the game so much. It's a type of game I've never played before, so I'm happy that I gave it a try. It's my first roguelike. I couldn't get into it. We talked about immersion like a couple of episodes ago, and I think that was it. I didn't feel like I was in the game. I felt sort of very out of the game. I was just clicking on things, and so the mechanic for me isn't really my sort of interest area. But
I agree with you.
Yeah. So Ollie and I already had a bit of a chat about it last night. Am I missing something? I don't understand, because I know that Jam really enjoyed it. It's just I've never played this type of game before, and it looks great, and obviously these types of games have a real sort of place and a nostalgia in game types, but it's just not for me.
It's a tricky one. Like one of the things that this game reminded me a lot of is like a combination of. Do you guys remember the map exploring component to the old SNES Legend of Zelda game, Link to the Past? So when you was it Link to the Past or was it one? It was the second Zelda game. So the one that it might have even been on the NES. Where you had a big sort of map exploring element, and then when you entered into dungeons and stuff, it sort of turned into like a side view with Link sort of running around. This game reminded me of just the map exploring part of Zelda, combined with some of the old text-based adventure games or even multi-user dungeons, like a lot of that control interface sort of stuff. Yeah,
I've never been a big sort of mud fan, so it did especially when Jam, you described it as like reams of text. I just got to the point it was like. Yeah. Oh my God, why am I not taking notes? Like that seemed like that was really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing I did pick up was to enter things, you press the arrowy keys, whatever they're called. And the greater and then the less than is what I call them on the keyboard. Is that what they're called? That's the only thing I picked up. And so that got me through, and I just spent hours in dungeons and roaming about, and I didn't really understand what I was doing or whether it was effective or...
Yeah,
I just felt completely lost in the game.
I definitely...
I could have done anything.
Yeah, I felt the same way after my first attempt. It wasn't until maybe 2 hours in, I actually started to get the hang, and I was more efficient, so I didn't feel like I was wasting time. I was constantly fighting things, unlocking new places, there was progress being made and new things occurring, and that's when it got really exciting. And then once I started... dying, I was like, okay, I gotta beat that last high score. So it was me competing against myself. It was fun, but I can see why it wouldn't be enjoyable for some people.
Oh, it's definitely an acquired taste.
I spent 6 days alive, so that was my first playthrough. Like, I didn't die. Well, I obviously died at the end of my time of playing, and I was just like, no, I don't think I want to start again. I'm good.
One of the things I actually quite liked about the game in terms of it being a roguelike is that despite the fact that, when you die, it's effectively a wipe, you can actually save the game. But it's basically just saving a point in time for that playthrough, and when you come back, you have to come back to
food and go to the bathroom.
Playthrough. Yeah.
And sleep.
So... it's good if you need to pause and go off and do something and you want to come back to the same game without having to sort of sit down for a long play session. It kind of, works out well that way. But this game reminds me of the sort of thing that as a teenager I would have loved to death and played the shit out of. But my tastes these days are very different. So
I probably agree with you. Like if someone had given me this game, like let's say more than 10 years, 'cause I'm old, when my sort of late teens, when I was just sort of starting getting interested in games, it probably would have been the most amazing thing because of the open world nature of it. But if I want open world nature, there's about 15 other games that I enjoy their style a lot better than this one. So
you can definitely appreciate the work that's gone into it, and
for sure. I think
it's a piece of art
beautiful.
for sure.
Yeah, the art style of it I really appreciated, and I watched because I didn't play much through the tutorial. I've watched some sort of streamers on YouTube as well, so I've watched a couple of the other classes, and it looked kind of much of a muchness to me. And then I got all distracted by Total War. So
You're welcome.
yeah, thanks, Ollie. So I can definitely appreciate the type of game, but it's just not for me. So I didn't really get a chance to play any of the other characters, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I own the game now. We've said this before, I usually enjoy games better when we play it with people, so maybe if Jam has a burning need to play it with somebody in the future, I could be convinced. If Overwatch is under maintenance.
Yeah, I was going to say, and time for some real talk.
And GTA
really,
isn't up yet. Yeah.
reviewing this game on the same, space of time as the Overwatch launch was always going to be
Oh,
tough.
so difficult. So difficult. Sorry, Lucas. Lucas was the guy who recommended the game, but we all played it, and we gave it a red hot go, and Jamie loves you for it.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas. Good sell. It's a game I think I'll go back to quite frequently.
You found a fan, so
Good job.
yeah.
All right. So just a very, very quick wrap up, just to sort of give anyone who's interested in giving it a go some more info. The background story, just very briefly, Ancient Domains of Mystery takes place in the fictional world of Ancardia in the mountainous Dracolor chain. So for 6,000 years, it has known relative peace, but recently reports have spread of the appearance of dangerous dungeons and frightening monsters. Kellavasta, who's a wise sage, discovers an ancient prophecy regarding the coming of chaos and propagates it to the peoples of the world. It speaks of a champion who will defend the world from the forces of chaos in the Dracolor chain. Hearing of this prophecy, many would-be heroes set out, and you basically assume control of one such adventurer. So the game is available on Steam. It's about, $15, I think, to pick up?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the system requirements are not too beefy either, so just about anybody will be able to run this on their machine. And if you have something, can run a basic word processor probably, you won't have too much of an issue. Yeah, so there you go. If you're into that kind of thing, check it out. Shall we roll for the next game of the month?
Exciting.
Yeah.
There's some good games on this list now, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, every month we've had some great games, and every month there's always at least like 3 or 4 in there. I'm like, come on. Not just my own.
Cheers to any listeners who have
mostly your own.
sent in their suggestions as well. So, Ollie, how can people send in suggestions for our party game of the month?
Over the internet, via the emails, or the Facebooks, or the Twitters.
Nice. All right, so
our
ideally
WhatsApp
we're looking for games that are US $30 or under. We want something that can be played through in a reasonably brief amount of time. We don't really want to be spending hundreds of hours, so anything we can get a good feel of in around 5 to 10 hours.
Unless it's an amazing game that we want to play for hundreds of hours.
Yeah,
There
that's
is
right.
one game on that list that I have been waiting for an excuse to play, so I will play hundreds of hours.
Is
of
it
that.
my one?
It's not your one, no.
Oh,
We also don't want any console exclusives. So if it's something you suggest, make sure it's either available via PC or it's not exclusive to Xbox or PlayStation, because we need to have all of us able to play it. And digital distribution is a must too. We don't want to be going in stores and hunting down discs. So, yeah. All right, Ollie, you have the list in front of you, I take it?
I do not.
All right, well,
But what I can do
That's a good
is
thing,
get
right?
a dice.
Okay,
Won't
well,
cheat,
you get a
right?
dice and I'll have the list, and our powers combined, we will pick a game.
You guys together are one whole functioning person.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Luke's still part of the equation.
All right, man, give us a number.
It is a 4. What is 4?
Ooh.
Oh,
Four
damn it,
is
man.
my
that's probably
one.
like the one game I was like, "Pugh."
What is it? I actually don't know. I
wanna
need to open up the
Well, Ollie, I think you
podcast
might be happy
things.
about this. It is Darkest Dungeon.
I've already played that. That's
Ah.
a great game. I like it.
Cool.
Explain this game to me and why I'm not going to hate it.
It is a party-based dungeon crawler
Ooh.
that is really, really good.
Oh, wait, I think I've seen this.
And it's all grim, dark, and gothic-y, and it's wonderful.
But it's newer. Like
It is
the last year or
relatively
so.
new, yes.
Yeah. I think I've seen playthroughs of this.
I'm
cool.
looking it
Okay.
up.
Does that mean we're going to have to find a time that we all can all play together?
No, not that sort of party.
Oh, okay.
Like, as in you have a party of adventurers
Yes,
that
you
you take.
have a
NPC
party
party.
of dude fellas.
Yep.
Or lady fellas.
Thanks, Ollie. I appreciate you.
There are ladies in the game.
Lady fellas?
Are they all wenches and support characters?
No, there's like
Okay, that
a
counts.
barbarian chick that's fucking hardcore.
Kick ass.
Is she wearing appropriate armor?
She's covered in fur.
Good.
Not as in like her own, as in like things she's killed fur.
She's covered in fur. She's actually a bear.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear God. All right.
So it's currently $24.99 USD.
$0.
Very
for me.
positive reviews. Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's
okay.
a really solid game.
Excellent.
Cool.
Can we play it together or no?
I know of.
Multiplayer?
Single player.
Single
Single
player.
player.
That's okay. We've got Overwatch for the multiplayers.
And we just get on at the same time and laugh at our misfortunes.
Yeah, actually,
Is
I've got
it
to admit,
similar to
actually
Sword
playing
Coast? Is it going to be
playing
similar
ADOM
to
at the
Sword
same time as
Coast?
Jam this month was actually kind of fun for me. I enjoyed that sort of talking
I
about.
enjoyed it too. Because you figure something out and I'd be like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Help me.
Is this going to be similar to Sword Coast Legends?
I haven't played it, so I can't compare.
No,
Doesn't
I
look like
don't
it.
think so, Imogen. I think it's a bit more.
Crawlery.
Yeah, I think your
It's
party.
turn-based as well.
Oh, yeah. That's a good difference too. Yep.
And the art style looks really interesting.
That sounds awesome.
All right.
Sweet.
Okay. Well,
So-
I've got to play it anyway. It's my job. So.
Yep. All right. So
Well,
next
now it's a
month, Darkest
job.
Dungeon. We'll be on to that. Got lots of stuff to play in the meantime. We've
I
got.
love both my jobs.
Looks like we've got some Total Wars to get into in the next week or two.
Totally.
Totally.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm staring-
I'm like 95% convinced it's just the price of that game is fine.
Well, I'm staring
I
at
can show you a
Minecraft on
cheaper
iPad.
price.
Yeah, you did find that cheaper
Should I
price.
should I buy Minecraft on iPad, guys? It will be my fourth Minecraft purchase.
No.
No
Jan.
is the answer
Stop
then.
buying
Jesus.
versions of
But
Minecraft.
if I have one for every platform that I own, then I can always play it when I want
Jam,
to.
when are you going to play Minecraft on your iPad?
Train! This is like the
What do you do on the train at the
game.
moment?
No, do what Luke does and play Hearthstone.
Troll Reddit.
No,
Play
that's
Hearthstone.
exactly why I'm not going to criticize Jamie for buying Minecraft on her iPad, because I am certainly not going to stand in that glass house and throw stones at her.
I will. I'll throw
Download
bricks.
Hearthstone, much better game. Do it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Let's let the audience decide. Get in touch with us and tell us whether you think Jamie should purchase Minecraft on her iPad. So you can let us know via our email, which is
Or download the free and
mail@partyloaded.com.
extensively popular Hearthstone.
Check us out on Twitter @PartyLoadedShow. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/PartyLoaded. And make sure that while you're giving Jamie direction on what she should do with her Minecraft addiction, drop in a suggestion for next month's Game of the Month as well. And we'll add it to the list.
Also, note that Hearthstone doesn't allow me to mine and craft.
I'm just going to point out that previously, with previous versions of Minecraft, when we have a go at you for enjoying weeding in Minecraft, you say, but Minecraft's inside. If you take your iPad outside, then you're weeding in a virtual world next to your weeds.
Yeah, but
In the
no,
real
not
world.
next to my weeds, just next to strangers.
That's much more acceptable.
Soundbite of the year.
No, that goes to a few episodes ago.
Yeah. On that note, I think we should call it. We got Overwatches to play, stuff to do, people to kill.
Yep.
Let's call it. All right. So thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Laters.
The Party Loaded podcast is a Channel Endgame production. For this and more great gaming content, bookmark channelendgame.com.